Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jung Lo, the owner of a Dragon House. Next to me, we have Drew Davis. Today is January 25th, and we are doing a little quick interview for Drew for his upcoming fight, March 16th at the Cow Palace, coming to against a very game opponent. Now, Drew, let's introduce you once again to all the MMA fight fans out there. Who you are, where you coming from?
My name is Drew Davis. I am originally from Hollywood, California. Moved out here back in 2016 for college. Stayed out here. Was working some jobs here and there at some restaurants, and then found a great place at Rumble Boxing. Been there for the last 2.5 years, and then been training here, Dragon House.
Yeah,
for the last almost 7 years now. Been here for a while, and I probably will stay here for a very long time.
So now, how's the difference in Hollywood and then now in San Francisco?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell because I haven't been there in so long. Every time I go, it's usually for a couple days. And honestly, like, I used to always tell myself after I finished school I'd move back to LA, but San Francisco kind of feels more like home than LA did. So
I know the culture is very different though, right? The LA culture and the Bay Area culture.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, the cool thing about it is, like, you have some really talented, charismatic people that come out there that are just like playing music on the street or just talking to you, like just kind of being a little bit like not out of pocket, but you know, they're not afraid to step out of their comfort zone and be a little like outgoing and just kind of whatever. Just it's definitely a little bit different than San Francisco. People are kind of more like to their business and stuff, but
that's pretty awesome.
There's some things I miss about LA, but I love it here in San Francisco for sure.
Now, this upcoming fight, you're fighting Anthony Beal from Combat Fitness. You guys, pretty much on paper, is very similar and identical. He has a slightly little bit more experience than you, a little taller. What you think of Anthony Beal?
Yeah, he's got a lot of fights. I think, you know, he's got
10 plus amateur.
He might even have like closer to like 20. He's had a lot of fights. A lot of fights as an amateur. 0-1 as a pro, just like me. And like he said, we have a lot to prove going into this one. It's kind of hard when I'm watching him, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what he's going to bring because he kind of mixes it up and changes it up each time he fights. Sometimes he'll engage in clinches. Sometimes he'll hold down the center and strike and pressure fight, which is what I like to do. So it'll be interesting to see when we're both in there what we're going to adapt to and if we're going to stick to our game plans or just start throwing wild. So we'll see. But I'm really excited for this fight.
Now, when you're watching him fight, I mean, the guy's he's a veteran. He fought the best of the best in the Bay Area. He fought Benny Orozco. He fought a lot of tough guys.
Jordan Mapa.
He fought a lot of tough guys in the Bay Area. So what do you see yourself having an advantage on him, on his game?
I mean, watching his fights, I feel like for the amount of fights that he has as an amateur, I feel like there's a lot of bad tendencies that he brought over to his pro debut, which led to him getting knocked out in 2 minutes in that first round. And I'm sure he's done his homework and he's trained really hard and he's not looking to make the same mistake twice. But from what I pulled from watching his fights, there's a few things that he continues to do that I think I'll be able to capitalize on anywhere.
What do you think of, you know, like some, just kind of like a borderline, like some people, they want to do X amount of fights in the amateur, then they turn pro. And then some people like, oh, you need to do more amateur to prepare for pro. Some people like, you know, you don't have to do that many amateur before you go pro. What do you think of that? You know,
honestly, it definitely depends on the fighter because sometimes you get guys that have 1 or 2 Emmys and then they turn pro, or you get some guys that have like 30 amateur fights and then they take it up to the next level. So I think it obviously depends on the fighter and their team. I think a lot of fighters that had a wrestling background typically don't have as many amateur fights before turning pro because they already have that foundation.
Competitive foundation.
Yeah, exactly. I played sports my whole life, so, you know, but I was never getting into fights, you know. I always had MMA in my peripherals. I was always watching it when I was like a kid. My brother would always, you know, grab me and start throwing me in arm bars and showing me jiu-jitsu moves when he was you know, having his friends over, maybe having like one too many beers and just kind of like showing me some stuff. But honestly, it made me fall in love with it at a young age, and I continued to just have that spark to try it. And once I started training, I never looked back. So I personally think I needed more amateur fights before turning pro, because I just played sports. I was just an athlete. I wasn't a fighter yet. So
Don't have a whole lot of background.
right. So the amateur fights that I had helped me mentally be able to turn on a switch and say, all right, like this isn't so much a sport, but this is like do or die. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to kill the guy that's in there. You're not like I've had some tough losses where I was overly respectful or just had a lapse of concentration just because I didn't have that killer mindset yet. And I think those amateur fights helped me find that.
Yeah, I mean, I see one of your amateurs, kind of like the guys touching your gloves and then just overhand right after that.
Yeah.
And that was definitely something you have to digest and learn, you know?
That's the hardest part too, is like, you know, you take a tough loss like that, and you wake up the next day and you tell yourself like, oh, if I had just done this, I would have won. But the thing about fighting is like you don't get that next chance till 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months. In my case, 10 months. In Anthony Beal's case, 10 months. We've both been waiting for a long time to get that last loss back. And the thing that sucks the most is you just gotta like sit there with that bad, bitter taste in your mouth, and you just like gotta wait for your next opportunity, and you gotta jump on it once it presents itself, you know?
Well, this is a very important fight for both you guys, you know, because both you guys 0-1, looking for the first win, or either you're 1-1 or 0-2. That's a
Big difference.
big difference, you know. So definitely have a lot to prove on this upcoming fight. You know, I can't wait to watching you guys fight. You know, so like, if people want to get a hold of you to buy a ticket, come support you, how can people contact you?
Best way is Instagram, Drew Davis _MMA. Yeah, hit me up. Got tickets.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people from my work, from my friends, family. They're all gonna show up and go crazy, and they love coming out to your fights. So I'm excited to.
Especially in Cow Palace.
Yeah, Cow Palace, no
Yes,
less. It's definitely iconic.
Yeah, it's an
place.
iconic WWE historical building. It's gonna be exciting. So now, do you have any special loved ones and training partners and sponsors that you want to shout out to?
My Dragon House team, of course. You always have my back. I know it's been a long journey throughout my whole fight career, especially the last 10 months, where we're trying to find a fight for me, and keeps falling through, and we just keep trying. And respect to Anthony Beal for taking this fight. But yeah, I'm blessed to have the teammates that I have. My girlfriend Nicole, always my rock, always in my corner. My friends and family from Rumble, and just the friends I have out here. The reason I can call this place home is because of all of you guys. So thank you. And I'm ready to kick some fucking ass March 16th, man. I can't wait.
That's pretty awesome. Now, if Anthony, if you're watching this interview, what do you have to say to him?
Train safe, train smart, make weight March 15th, and show up March 16th. And let's get this bread, man. Let's go.
That's pretty awesome. Now, we've been talking about this for a while. It's a possibility for you to go down back to 145. Because an amateur, you actually fought at 145 before.
I did. Talked to my dietitian about that. He didn't like that at all. I can't blame him. You know, it's just with like my situation. Physically, I just feel much stronger at 55, and with the lifestyle that I have, I think we'll probably stay at 55.
And you don't cut much weight either.
Not too much, no. But
And you walk around like barely even, you know what I mean? It's like 165. It's like 8 or 9 pound cut.
yeah, a little bit more than that. But you know, just the lifestyle that I have, and just it would be 45 would be tough. But you know, you never know like what the future holds, and you know, if I take this sport far enough where I can do this for a living, then yeah, we'd probably make down 45 by that point.
That's pretty awesome. Now, do you have anybody that in your eye that you want to fight someday?
Right now, just Anthony Beal. Just need him to show up. That's it. I had so many people pull out in these last couple of fights that we tried scheduling. All I care about is the person in front of me right now, and that's Anthony. So let's do it.
Good. March 16th, Cow Palace, formerly known as URCC Promotion. Now it's called First Round Fights. Making sure you guys stay put. We have a lot of fight up and coming, and then put up on my website, DragonHouseMMA.com. Making sure you guys stay put. Check out DragonHouseMMA.com. You see the fight card layout. It's approximately about 20 plus fights on this upcoming card. Huge stack card. A lot of up and comer from the Bay Area and California. Some overseas fighter will be in the card. So
Mongolia.
making sure, it's Mongolian. We have some Russians and some Filipinos, and making sure you guys stay tuned. It's gonna be a huge stack card and not disappointed. And then for more information about this card, check out DragonHouseMMA.com. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Dragon_House_MMA. We have the next grappling, submission only grappling, kickboxing, smoker, kickboxing sparring at the Dragon House February 4th, next Sunday. Making sure you guys register from the website as well. And then any last word you want to say to any friends and families?
Appreciate all of you. Can't wait for March 16th, guys. Let's go. Let's get this win.
That's awesome. All right, I'm Jung Lo signing out. We'll see you guys March 16th. Stay tuned. Peace.